Small talk is often just a bit of like social lubricant, right, in British culture. And I will say, not every conversation is going to lead to anything, deep and meaningful. But often small talk also is the doorway to other conversations and connections. Everything does not start with small talk. So although every small talk conversation won't lead to something deeper and more meaningful, every deep and meaningful conversation does start with small talk, right? Every friendship, every relationship, every connection, every conversation, you need something to warm up. You need something to open the door. You need something to start that conversation, right? So a lot of people do open that door with conversations like, what have you been up to? How was your weekend? You got any plans for this weekend? What did you get up to last night? These are just doorways, right? So the quality of the conversation is going to depend on the quality of your answers and the quality of your questions, right? Something I teach my students is, if you want to have conversations, if you want to connect with people, make sure that you're offering something for people to respond to and ask you about and develop into a conversation, right? The reason small talk often falls flat and feels really surface level and just painful sometimes is because people will say like, oh, how are you? How was your weekend? What'd you get up to? Like, oh, not much really, just had a quiet one. Like, what about you? And there's nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing really to talk about. Whereas if you can kind of share a highlight and an opinion about something, it just gives the other person something to kind of pick up, right? And likewise, whatever they say, react, respond, ask a question about it, right? And that's how a conversation is going to unfold. So like if it was a conversation with a friend or a colleague or somebody that I wanted to talk to, how are you? How's your weekend? Maybe I say, oh, it's good. I had a quiet one at home. I didn't really do a lot, but I started watching a new series on Netflix. What about you? And maybe they then ask, what series did you watch? They tell you something about their weekend. You could ask them something about that. And often all it takes is a couple of back and forths, and the conversation then goes to something else. Conversations don't want to stay small, but you just need to give a little something to it. And then usually you have something that you can then expand on, talk about, develop, and that's how it goes somewhere a little bit deeper from there, right?